Welcome back, everyone. 2021 was the most dangerous year to be on Massachusetts roads in more than a decade. And this year, proven to be just as deadly with a recent uptick here in Western Mass.
We're getting answers on why we're seeing the increase and the efforts to make one deadly Springfield road safer.
Well, that's my princess, Destiny. I'm sorry. She's always on my mind.
7 years have passed, but Sagrario Caceres can't talk about her little girl without tearing up. Destiny Gonzalez was in second grade when she was hit by a car after leaving Central Library and crossing State Street. It's a road that's seen 7 pedestrian deaths since 2015. 4 were killed last year alone, including a 16-year-old hit by a bus near Dwight Street and a librarian hit while crossing in front of the library, just like Destiny was.
That hurt me. That made me tremendously sad and also angry.
There were a lot of calls for change. I was part of that conversation. This is really dangerous. We need to change this.
Civil engineer Charles Marone says those calls were finally answered in June when the Springfield DPW put up temporary cones and barricades to study whether narrowing the road would slow drivers down, while designs for a new pedestrian crossing are explored.
Part of what makes this road so dangerous is that the crosswalk from the library to the parking lot is a ways away. So instead of walking all the way down to the intersection to cross, many take the more direct route mid-block.
The DPW says the temporary redesign will be in place until September 9th, and results will be used to make the road safer next year.
For Destiny and for me, it's too late, but it can prevent other deaths.
I think the next step is to do this on many, many, many more streets that we can clearly see are also as dangerous as State Street.
Bad street design can play a role, but the Mass DOT says the top causes of fatal crashes are speeding and failing to stop.
2021 in Massachusetts was a deadly year for operators of vehicles, passengers, motorcycles, and also pedestrians.
Last year, 420 people were killed in crashes in the state, the highest death toll in over a decade. Already this year, there have been 234 deaths in the state, including 34 here in the Pioneer Valley. 20 of those were drivers and passengers, including the mother and son who died in a crash on Memorial Drive in Chicopee, July 29th. 9 were pedestrians, including the man and woman hit by a car in East Hampton on August 2nd, and 9 were motorcyclists.
Whether people were getting back on the road and they forgot to drive, or they were distracted with general life, but it was a particularly dangerous year that certainly has all of us in transportation and state government concerned and worried about.
Experts say fewer people driving over the pandemic would typically mean fewer crashes, but that wasn't the case.
Prior to the pandemic, congestion, the fact that you couldn't drive as fast as the road allowed you to drive, meant that the streets were safe most of the time.
Less congestion caused drivers to take more risks, something Caceres sees all too often on State Street.
I feel the most dangerous thing is people driving so fast.
She's pleading with drivers to recognize that traffic fatalities are more than just a number.
It's like a ripple effect. It doesn't just hurt the primary victim. That person has family, have mothers, a father, have parents, have siblings, has friends.
Destiny would be 15 years old now. Her mom's heartache continues as she searches for signs from her little girl, like when her necklace flips over.
I believe it, I believe it's she, so I do kiss it and turn it around. It's like, for me, that's the way I communicate with her now.
State Street project is expected to cost about $650,000. The Springfield Police Department tells us they'll continue with their traffic enforcement initiatives along State Street and across the city.